Start the computer. It got like locked up or something. So anyway, my apologies, but good morning to you. Good morning. It is Friday morning, December the 29th. We're almost done with the year, which like is already a lot to deal with. But anyway, here we are. This is Coffee Talk. We get together about 7 days a week, chat about what's going on in the world of weather, and it is absolutely beautiful outside. A live look from our Wesh 2 studios in Daytona Beach. The Wesh Tower there right off Ridgewood, looking over toward Beachside, looking gorgeous this morning. Rise and shine. People, it is a lovely, lovely start to the day. Good morning to you. It's also a little chilly outside, but you don't have to take my word for it. Here's a look at temperatures across Central Florida. If the see, there's gremlins today. There's gremlins. I don't know what's doing here. Well, it's beautiful. Eventually, there we go. All right, thank you for that. It's 53 degrees in Orlando right now. It's 47 outside in Leesburg. We are sitting at about 44 degrees in Ocala, 46 outside in Palm Coast. So it is a lovely start. It's a chilly start, and it's going to be a lovely and chilly forecast through the day today. Nothing to see on our first warning live Doppler radar. As a matter of fact, you see all that noise? Let me go into the radar and quiet her back down. You see all that ground clutter? I can fix that. All right. All right, that should clean that up. That should start to clean that up. Perfect. Look at that. Look at that. I love it when a plan comes together. Okay. Just give me a second to get the satisfaction of watching all that ground clutter disappear, and then we can move on to our forecast. Okay. All right. I'm done with that. Forecast for today, by the way, let me do the full screen version. Forecast for today is going to keep with the mix of clouds and sunshine. It's going to be nice and dry, but a couple of items of note here. First off, those temperatures are just not climbing much. 62 degrees. Our high temperature. When Jeannie saw me dressed like this, she's like, where are we going? I'm like, I don't know. I just need to be warm. So first thing, it's going to be chilly. Second thing, look at those winds out of the west running 15 to 20 miles an hour. So it's not just going to be a chilly day. It's going to be a gusty day. So there's that. Yeah, it's going to be a pretty nice day, though, you ask me. Here's a look at high temperatures around. Obviously, we're running below average around Central Florida. 62 today in the city, 60 degrees in Leesburg, upper 50s around Marion County, mid 60s across our southern Brevard County areas, and it's looking good. It is looking good in the neighborhood, as a matter of fact. When you look at those averages, though, none of us are anywhere near where we should be. So don't expect anything like that to happen, you know? I mean, it's going to be gorgeous. Now, coldest air that we have seen so far this year, okay? Back in January of 2023, we hit 36. 42 is going to be our low temperature on New Year's Eve. So all we're doing here is we're getting chilly, but it's not going to be the coldest air we have seen yet this year. Yet this season, perhaps, but not yet this year. So let's look here. Morning temperatures these next couple of days. Okay, 40s. And it's in the metro area. We look into these other communities and it'll be even chillier, okay? So what we should do is we should start talking day by day. So today's Friday, so let's look at Saturday morning's low temperatures. Where do we wake up tomorrow morning, okay? There you go, 45 in the metro. And again, for comparison purposes, okay, temperature outside right now, 53. So it's going to be chillier tomorrow morning. When I see it for Wesh 2 New Sunrise, and can I just add one thing real quick? Personal note. I'm allowed to not wear a tie tomorrow. We've been finding opportunities. It hasn't worked out yet. Tomorrow morning, for sidebar, tomorrow morning is going to be the first morning or night, the first shift in my entire television weather career that I will be in the studio without a tie. Tomorrow morning. The image consultant wanted it, but the Wesh management has been very uneasy on that. So tomorrow is going to be the day that I'm going to try it. Anyway, enough of that. I'll be with you like a little out of sorts tracking these temperatures. Here's your morning temperature tomorrow. 45 in the city, 41 degrees in Leesburg, 41 degrees to 40 degrees in the Villages, 39 in Ocala, about 40 degrees or so for us, like the shores. 41 Daytona Beach, 41 degrees. Yeah. So that's tomorrow morning. That's tomorrow morning. You like my ties? I don't like my ties. If I could get away never wearing a tie again, I would be so happy. So that's tomorrow morning. Tomorrow afternoon, my friends. Another chilly one. Probably going to be even chillier than today, frankly. Yeah. No tie, no big deal. If the image consultant wants Peter Pan tights, though, I wouldn't blame management for being on the fence. You're talking about changing generations of news delivery with ties. So, yeah. So everyone email Wesh and tell them how great Eric looks without a tie. Yeah, wouldn't that be fun? And then I can never wear a tie again. I would love that. I'm probably going to try and go buy a couple of dress shirts today that kind of look decent in a jacket without a tie. I don't know. We'll see. If I can find a deal. Tomorrow afternoon, probably going to be a little chillier than today, though, my friends. 60 flat. Remember, today's forecast, so let's just go back to it. Today's forecast high is 62. Tomorrow, 60 degrees in the city, 59 in Ocala, 57 degrees in Palm Coast, and we're going to keep the breeze with us, okay? So that's your Saturday. Then we look to Sunday. That's going to be the cold one, my friends. Frost north and west of town. 36 in Ocala as the winds go calm. There's that, right? 39 in the Villages, 41 in Leesburg, 42 degrees in Orlando. Now, it's not going to be the coldest of the year, but it does make me wonder. Give me a few seconds to look this up. Is it the coldest of the season? So let's look. 0901. MCOTHR. Okay. All right. Coldest morning temperature that we have seen this season is 46. So there you go. And that was on November the 29th. All right. So there you go. This will be the coldest morning of the season. 46. I mean, that being said, 46, that'll be an easy one to beat. Not coldest of the year, but coldest of the season. What about the coldest afternoon? Coldest afternoon was November the 28th, coldest afternoon of this season, and that was 59 degrees. So we're not forecasting that, but it's possible that we'll be there, right? So that's Sunday morning. Sunday afternoon, once the frost is done, back into the 60s, and then we go on and on and on and on from there, okay? So this weekend, okay, we're expecting some chill around the coldest of the season. Not necessarily guaranteeing the coldest of the season, but like tomorrow's going to be flipping cold. Considering you factor in that wind chill as well. It's going to be chilly. Anne's voting Peter Pan. We're not doing Peter Pan tights. I got to keep my kids fed. You know what I mean? We're not doing that. Ay vey, y'all. Y'all are goofy. I like to have the 60 weather. I mean, it's going to be gorgeous. And really, it's going to be a gorgeous weekend. Lots of sunshine. Just going to be chilly, right? It's just going to be chilly. Now, for your plans, New Year's Eve, this is what everybody's planning for, right? Like, what do you do? I'm doing nothing. But maybe you're doing something. It's going to be chilly. We've brought these temperatures down just a smidge. Right at midnight, 49 degrees. Yeah, it's going to be chilly, okay? It's going to be chilly. But it's going to be beautiful. No rain. So dress up in your bedazzled warm gear, okay? I know you have a choice in your closet of warm bedazzlement or cold bedazzlement. We're going to have to go with the stay warm bedazzled attire, we'll say. Jeannie says, bundle freaking up. Yeah, pretty much. Chris, I'm loving this weather. It's great. It's great. It's great. You know what? It's a nice change, and then we'll be able to get back to the warm weather before you know it, right? Jenny says, New Year's Eve and day, I do nothing but watch football and be lazy. Nothing wrong with that. These kids, let me tell you, these kids, they keep me from doing anything lazy. It's like you do everything for them, everything for them, everything for them. And then when you're done, they're like, but what about me? And it's like, you are one gaslighting son of a gun. Man. John says the 8 o'clock rocket launch last night was very nice, even watching here from Den Island. Wasn't that something, that Falcon Heavy? I don't know if y'all saw this picture. Let me see if I can pull this up. Yeah, let me see if I can pull up this image. Copy image address. So this image was taken by John Krause, who is, if you follow space in Central Florida much, John Krause just does incredible images. He always, as long as I've been around like the space world, John Krause has done some just unbelievable imagery. This was his picture last night of the Falcon Heavy. Like, what are you doing, John Krause? Look at that thing, okay? That was taken last night of the Falcon Heavy, courtesy John Krause. And you can follow him, by the way, on Twitter at John Krause Photos, JohnKrausPhotos. John Krause Photos. Wow. That dude's good. I mean, he's always posts amazing pictures. But like that's wow. Now, I was asleep for the second one. Did the second one get up? That one I didn't see. Kids are the worst gaslighters. My God, right? We got to watch it on base. It was incredible. My son was mad he had to go out and watch it. Kid has no clue how lucky he is. And that's true. And it's funny. A friend of mine was like, we didn't hear the sonic booms of the side cores coming back. And I'm like, dude, I wasn't on base last night. But I was like, I've been on base. You hear the sonic booms from those side cores coming back. Or from the main core. Now, the Falcon Heavy is the one rocket I have not seen up close. But for a Falcon 9 return to landing site, first core, like, I heard those sonic booms. It was something else. So, yeah. Second one went up too. So is that a record then, Cindy? I think that's a record, right? For the quickest turnaround, just a couple of hours. I think that's a record. Looks like the first warp drive shuttle and the Death Star. No. That's funny, Joe. I like it. Let's see here. I've seen pics of the second one, so yes. Okay, got it. Jenny, my 6th grade son was super impressed with the boosters coming back. For sure. Yep. What's the little one singing? Can you hear that? I don't even know what he's singing back there. Yeah. You have your Mr. Rogers sweater on. Listen, if I was allowed to wear this doing the weather, I would, you know? Well. All right. So back to weather a little bit. We did this a little bit yesterday, but let's chat about the year in review. Average temperatures. We discussed this yesterday and how Orlando average temperature, including morning and afternoon, averaging out the morning and afternoon temps, right? First warmest average temperature on record for 2023 thus far. Sanford, top 5. Leesburg, top 5. Melbourne, top 5. Daytona, also first. So it was a hot 2023, right? Now, we can do some interesting tweaks here. Average temperature. So average temperature for this year. So let's do this. Seasonal time series. Average temperature. And let's do other month. We're going to do 2, 12, 27. Okay. All right. So, I know. Month, day. 12, 27. I'm just trying to compare out of curiosity here, okay? Out of curiosity. All right, interesting. So the average temperature for just from September to like today. From September to today, the average temperature this year, 73.9. The average temperature last year, 74.0. So I think that's kind of interesting. So in other words, the reason that I'm looking at that is as a kind of cool season, our temperatures, let's go to 10:01. Let's start in October. About the cool season. I'm just trying to factor in about the cool season. About the cool season. Okay, so starting October 1st, from October 1st to yesterday, our average temperature, 71. Last year's average, 71.1. So we are 1/10 of a degree cooler this year than last year's cool season, give or take, right? And if we were to just look at rankings, 2023 is 19th warmest. So we're not, it's nothing to write home about. But I just, just some interesting little, I loved digging through and looking at some of those stats. That's all. Yeah. I'm blaming my poor running time. My gosh, these kids are crazy. It's the first year I don't cry about summer ending in a while. It's just too hot this year. It was just too hot. If we were to take that same data and let's just look at summer. All right, let's look at the summer data. Go. All right, so here's interesting. So I'll put this, I'm like looking at it off camera. Why wouldn't I just try and show this to you? All right, give me a second to get this dialed up. All right. So this is a utility. Interact. Hold on. Let's see. Okay. All right. So this is a utility. Let's see here. So this is a utility that I can use. Get that dialed up. All right. So this is a tool that... There we go. All right. So we're going to do seasonal time series. Let me shrink it so that you can see what I'm working on here. Seasonal time series, and we're going to do average temp, average temp, average temp, sum, and we're going to do summer, station area, MCOTHR. Okay, so, no, I don't want sum, mean. It's processing. Okay, average mean temperature. Yeah, average temperature mean, pour to 20. Okay. All right, so this is the data. There's kind of the graph. I mean, enlarge this just so that you can see. All right, so average temperature. This is summer. So summer year. So summer this year, average temp for this summer was 84.3. Exactly the same as last year. So I always like to use this website to get, this is the website that I use to get all of our climate data. But it is always interesting to see because you can tweak around and get so much information. So for example, this year, average temperature was almost identical to that of last year. Now we can go in and look calendar year. We can rank it by temp. So the warmest years on record for summer, the warmest summer on record in Orlando, 1903, which I think is kind of interesting, right? 1903 was 84.9. This year and last year tied as second warmest summer, meteorological summer on record. So it's just interesting when you go and dig through the data because there's so much information to look at and to see. And I think it's kind of interesting. Yeah. So as far as summer goes, it's the exact same as it was last year, right down to the 10th of a degree. Christy, I should have known there was a program to check this stuff here. I was thinking you just put numbers in an Excel sheet manually. So for hurricane season, my Hurricane Climo stuff is in an Excel spreadsheet. But for weather station data, yeah, there's a database. Wasn't that a significant storm year as well? What, 1903? Oh God, you're gonna make me try and remember. I don't remember. I know, Brian, right? I know. All right, so that's kind of where we're at, my friends. Kind of interesting. It's always kind of interesting. I always love looking at climate data. There's a lot to be investigated with the climate data, right? And there's a lot to look at and to try and learn from. So always interesting. I thought the Galveston hurricane was 1900. All right. Anyway, so here we are, 7-day forecast. Definitely below average the next couple of days. You gotta love that. Welcoming the new year on a chilly note and then starting to warm up little bit by little bit. Cindy says climatology at its finest. And I think that perspective is very important. To look at climatology in perspective is important. Jenny says, I love a good spreadsheet. I do too, Jenny. And I'll tell you, the tropical database that I get comes straight from Phil Klotzbach. Every year I ask him the favor because he's the man with that. And every year he's kind enough to share it with me. And there's so much data that one can infer data, and there's so much perspective, I think, that you get off of climatology. I'm a meteorologist, but I study climatology, but I don't ever brand myself as a climatologist. There's a lot of studying into history and historical things that I just don't have, but I can look at the data and at least get some perspective on current day stuff. And I think that's where I benefit from it. Yeah. So, any questions? Any questions about anything? Any questions? How we doing? Other than enjoying a nice cup of joe. Campeche. While we're chatting, let's go in and look at some models here. That kid is insane. Help me. God help me. You know what my thing is, real fast? When my child scolds me, we're not, Amiana, we're not turning this political. Climatology is the study of past weather. I will give you the raw data, and we don't talk politics here. Where I come from, weather and politics do not overlap. Anyway, as I'm hearing my son screaming, all I think of is, you know what the one thing is that just drives me the craziest? Is when my son tries to scold me. Also, my younger son is the abuser of the bunch. He just tries to beat the snot out of his bigger brother. Man. Brian says genetics. I know, man. Genetics. They sound like they're having fun. They're having something. All right. So let's look at some computer model data, because we know for the Disney half marathon and marathon weekend, for Walt Disney World Marathon weekend, that there was a storm system. I just want to check and see. There's high pressure building in. There's that storm system Thursday. Yeah. So we're still looking at a storm system, but the newer trajectories are at least taking the majority of the energy a little north of you. But yeah, we've got a storm system coming in around marathon weekend. It may be some showers around. So just wanted to check on that and see if we were still scheduled for that sort of thing. He tries to scold me. He doesn't try. He scolds me. And then I always have to be like when we're going somewhere and he's like, I'm not going there. And I'm like, funny. I'm pointing the car where I want to point it. We're going there. Jessica says, I love the sound of Eric's kids playing, knowing mine are finally old enough to sleep in. I don't want to wish. I'm not wishing anything away, but also I do look forward to those moments. Wait until they're teens. You will always get scolded, but you will always win. God willing. Enjoy your babies. They get big. And that Stacy and Gary, yeah. I I heard your boys yelling in the background. I looked out the window to see who was out there. Oh, that's funny. Yeah. Cindy, the terror on your face after every squeal or scream. You know. Glad to know my kid isn't the only one crazy. It's not just this morning. And you know what it is? You know what it is for me? So when Alexander was hospitalized, I think it was last year, when he was hospitalized, Eric decided that he and Alexander were going to sleep in the same bedroom. And then I don't remember what it was, but at one point they just decided they're going to sleep in the same bed. We got to stop that. I need to get what I need to do is I need to go rent one of those Home Depot pickup trucks to run to IKEA because Alexander needs a big boy bed because I cannot have them sleeping in the same bed anymore because they're fighting all night now. So, yeah. I got to work on this parent. That may be what my job is today. Looking for a couple of shirts for me for this weekend and a bed for Alexander to get them off of each other because they fight all night. And then Eric just comes in screaming all night. And it's just like, you got to be kidding me. I put you to bed 2 hours ago. Go to bed, you know? Mine is screaming, but it's at his buddy on Fortnite, so there's always yelling. So yeah, Jenny, that's true. Small kids, small problems. Big kids, big problems. See, that's what I'm afraid of. That's what I'm afraid of, yeah. Oh, man. My girls are 20 and 17. They woke up at 6 a.m. Christmas morning. They're still kids. You know what? And to that effect, like when you know that it's almost time for that next step, I guess you have to savor that flavor, huh? Man, my car insurance just skyrocketed due to my 17-year-old getting excited. Yeah, that's true. New year, new bed. That's true. That's it. Oh, man. No matter their age, you still worry. My baby's 27, and we worried as she drove across country. Thankfully, it was an uneventful trip, and she's home safe. And that's what I've heard. That's what I've heard. It's all terrifying. It's all terrifying. Have kids, they said. It would be fun, they said. It's terrifying. You know, I truly believe if I hadn't have done my surgery to lose the weight, I'd be really struggling. Really struggling. Man, as I hear them, God only, what are they doing? We're all kids at heart. Some of us just have to dig down deep to find it. Cindy, it's true. I like that. Yeah. I'm 48 and my mom still mothers me. Yeah. My husband was up at 6 a.m. for Christmas morning and woke us all because he was excited. Oh my God, that's so funny. Jeff says rent a pickup an IKEA bed fits in a Volkswagen Beetle. So it doesn't. It literally it doesn't fit in my. I've got a little SUV, and it doesn't fit. It doesn't. All the pieces don't fit. You know. They have separate rooms, Catherine. They just won't use it. They just don't use it. Heather, good morning. My daughter's in her 40s with 2 grandsons. They're both wonderfully wild. Well, and you get to give them back. Like, that's the best. Yeah. Ooh, that sounds fun, Christine. Not too bad. Yeah, go out that day and enjoy that weather with that new outfit. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. All right. Anything else, friends? Anything? Anything? Looks like it's going to be a nice stretch of weather for us. That much we know. Oh my gosh, Brian, I don't want to bother you. Listen, for $20, I can rent a pickup truck from Home Depot for 75 minutes or something, and that's all I need to run down to IKEA, get it, and then get it picked up. So you're good, my friend. Thank you. I appreciate it. I don't want to bother you. These are the moments, though, I do wish I had a pickup truck. One of these days, I'll get one. All right, listen, be the sunshine in someone else's day. Thank y'all so much for hanging out for Coffee Talk. Be good, y'all. Take care.